watching Tim's Tiny Arcade.
Hello everybody, this is Tim from Tim's Tiny Arcade, where today we're looking at Up-Down Milwaukee, another barcade. My friend Tom Schumacher was visiting the area and he sent me some video footage of the arcade, and let's take a look at some of the games they have in here. Alright, so they have a Medieval Madness, which is a super fun pinball machine. They have a Tron, a Family Guy, Spider-Man, that's a fun one to play. Attack of Mars, and of course, a good arcade has to have Addams Family. Look at some of this art they have on the walls. It's got 80s written all over it, and as you see throughout this video, you'll be seeing more and more things from the 80s, which is pretty cool. I think it adds a little bit to this place. They got some TVs set up, so you can watch something. They're at the bar also if you don't want to be playing games. And here's a perfect example of some of the 80s stuff. Alright, then you got some Space Invaders on the wall and a couple awesome games right here. You've got Smash TV on the right and Terminator Judgment Day. Two real fun games. And then as you look, there's just more art. And look at this right up here. You got a little bit of Space Invaders. And then this is pretty eerie in a way. You got Andre the Giant staring right at you, right above you. Pretty cool. Okay, then as we move on, we have a Battletoads 3-player. Pretty rare game. I don't usually ever see that at an arcade, so it's pretty cool that they have this here also. Alright, then we have Galaspius, which is Galaga 3 basically, Cubert. We have a Dig Dug. And then we have a Ms. Pac-Man, which is always one I like to play. Then a Galaga. This is probably where I would spend most of my time, is this row of games right here. I mean, this is an awesome lineup. Then we have a Tron. Awesome to see a Tron in this arcade. And then we have a Centipede, an Atari Centipede, another fun game. And then a Bubble Bobble to end this row. So awesome lineup they have right there. And then over here we have a Konami Turtles in Time. Great game to play with your friends, and you can drop a lot of quarters in that game pretty easy. Fun game to have in the arcade. And then a Data East Bad Dudes. It's a great like side-scroller beat-em-up game. Real fun game to play. Awesome addition of this arcade. They have two great Williams games here. We have a Joust on the left, and on the right there we have a Defender, one of the great games shooters of all time. And then also in this arcade they have a Michael Jackson Moonwalker. And then they have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Right here, one of my favorites, WWF WrestleFest. Used to play that game all the time back when I was in college. Love that game. Glad to see they have that here also. And then they also have a Sunset Riders. Haven't played a lot of that. A lot of people love that game. They also have that here. Then we have a 4-player Gauntlet. Always a game, the more players you have, the more fun you have in that game. So it's cool to have that here. Then they have a Nintendo Punch-Out. I always like the NES version of Punch-Out better than the arcade version, but it's cool that they have that here. And then sitting right to the left of that, they have a Goonies. That's one I don't see very often either. And I really, to be honest with you, have not played that one before, so I kind of like to play it sometime. So pretty cool that they have that. And right of those last two games, they had a Dr. Mario. And then on the wall, they got some more, they got Michael Jordan on the wall, some Space Invader symbols on the wall that you can see. A TV in this area, actually a couple TVs. And I see the Ultimate Warrior hiding up there on the upper left. Alright, now we have our fighting games. We start with Primal Rage. Then we have a Killer Instinct 2. One of my favorite fighting games of all time. We have a Mortal Kombat 2. We have a Street Fighter. We have a X-Men versus Street Fighter. So they got some really good fighting games here in this row. Something really cool. A versus balloon fight in the arcade. Love the NES version. Super cool to see that here. Never seen one of those before. Then we have a Choplifter, which is a pretty fun game. We got to save the hostages. Return of the Jedi. Next to Moon Patrol. Love playing that game. Always fun to play that one. And then a Kung Fu Master. I played probably more of the NES version than I have arcade, but a real fun game. Then we have an RBI baseball, some Nintendo games now. We have a Popeye, Donkey Kong, one of my favorites, and then a Donkey Kong Jr. And then some must games I would have in my arcade, NBA Jam, right next to NFL Blitz 99. Awesome. And then look at this, a Cocktail Track and Field. One of my favorite games. I played probably more NES than I did arcade, but always a fun game to play wherever you're at. A couple pins here. We had a WrestleMania, a Terminator. Looks like a South Park that might be down. Metallica, Iron Man, Walking Dead, which I've played that before. Love that game. Really super fun one to play. And then we have a Ghostbuster. That's another super fun one to play. Here we have a Snow Bros here on the left and a Bust a Move sitting here in the corner. And then we have a Desert Assault. And outside they have a Sega Outrun. So pretty cool little place where you can eat, hang out, and to have that out there, I think that's just pretty cool. And back in the arcade they had a 4-player Hydro Thunder. I know my friend Tom McCord was probably absolutely love that. So that's pretty cool that they had that. And then right to the right of that, they have the House of the Dead, Area 51, then an Alien game, Aliens, sitting right there, and then a Carnival. So pretty good lineup of games right there. Last two games they had in here was a Tapper and a Burger Time. Two good choices for the arcade. And that was all the arcade and pinball machines, but then they had a couple little plug-and-plays. They had a PlayStation 1 that you could play on the TV here. And then the other one they had was the mini Super Nintendo. So it has like 20 some odd games on it. Pretty cool that they have those. Just something a little bit different for your arcade, something else you could play. Well, I want to thank Tom Schumacher for sending me this video footage so I can share it with everybody. Please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, guys, I'll talk to you all later.